Guys and girls, this happens. Your agent cannot sell your home or maybe even rent your home. We're going to talk about the solutions and how this actually happens. Stay tuned. Oh, this is a sad story.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Morning Minutes. Myself, Michael Burgio Mark Novak, episode 1606. The agent
Yes.
can't sell my property. What should I do? Should I change agents? Is it something wrong with the property? Have I, as an owner, done something wrong? Or is it all the agent's fault? Mark, talk us through it. What's happening?
Price, product, promotion. It's the only three things that can go wrong, unless it's commercial and there's one more.
Yeah. But in a time where emotions are high, it's very stressful for an owner to be selling a property. It's their largest asset. A lot of the time, unfortunately, agents don't like to admit it, but a lot of the time, we're engaged when something's gone wrong. Three Ds, I call it, the death, divorce, disputes. And that's a lot of the time where they're engaging a real estate agent. So that just adds a cherry on top of the emotions in the scenario. So it's good to just take a step back, think of and an agent explain the three Ps. And what are they, Mark? So where would you like to start? Price, promotion, or product?
Well, you know what? I think if everyone visualizes a property that they've seen on the market a long, long time, and you can probably visualize which of the P's where you think that went wrong. So, um, price, product, promotion. So, price is probably the obvious one. I might leave that till
Mm.
last.
Yep.
Promotion is the less obvious one because promotion is multifaceted. It's what's coming out of the agent's mouth. It's as well. It's access to the property. It's how it's being presented in terms of promotion in what's the agent, how the agent's actually talking about that property in terms of promotion. What else would you relate promotion to? How it looks in the advertisements.
Yes.
Um,
Well, there's sort of two levels. A lot of when people are looking to sell a property, there's the off-market strategy, and then there's full promotion. So you've
yeah,
got to think, well, how much promotion are we doing? Have we got it on promotion? You'd say, let's go. If you're saying, I don't want to leave any stone unturned, you've got realestate.com, domain, signboards, letterbox drops, Facebook, social media, newspaper, financial review, LinkedIn, database emails, SMSs. There are under
done
promotion,
well.
there are so many things to do. And then it comes to, is it done well? You can do a letterbox drop and it's got a terrible photo, which let's say this property has a big backyard and that's rare for a house in that area, and you don't have a photo of the backyard, you got a photo of the front door or something very silly like that. So
Yeah.
within promotion, it's like, have you done everything and has it been done well? Is a big part of it. And is there something more you can do? Because what we say to owners, promotion is like having car insurance. You don't think you need it until you need it, and then you really need it. And you don't want to get in an accident and go, wow, I really should have had that. Just like a campaign, you don't want to get to the end of it. And let's say you run an expression of interest campaign and you've got one offer and you're like, wow, maybe if we did a signboard, we could have got two offers. Maybe if we did realestate.com, we could have got one more offer. Maybe. You sort of want to know you've ticked off a lot of those boxes.
And I was talking with a developer, giving him an example yesterday on something, and he said maybe do you reckon it would help having a second agent on the project? And I said, look, let me tell you something. We had a project where there was 0 sales in 9 months. There was 2 agents. The developer brought us on, and we had over 100 exchanges in the following 9 months. And I said, that developer gave me all of the buyers from the campaign. There was 220 buyers on the campaign. And I said, do you know how many of those that I closed? None.
Mm.
Because all of those buyers were poo-pooed. They were all given like there's nothing worse than putting a great buyer in front of a bad agent. They'll
A
ruin
bad
that
first
campaign.
impression.
But they just, and all the people you're talking to, yeah, no, I thought about that property, not interested. So promotion, that all falls under promotion.
Yeah. Okay. Now, product, the type
Yes.
of property that falls
Right.
into, and the fit out. Like, it can come down to a little bit more like presentation product. How's the presentation?
Absolutely.
Is it there?
Absolutely.
And don't get me wrong, there's renovated, unrenovated, but a lot of the time, some buyers were like, oh, especially if you're first home buyers, they don't want to do a new kitchen. So a lot of the feedback might be the property's just not right for them
Work
with
on
the
the
current
product.
condition. Yeah,
Work on the
work on the
product. You have
product.
to you have to change, quilts, cushions. You have to change, paint
Is there
stuff that
mold on
someone
the
says
ceiling?
that's yeah, paint that mold. Someone says that's really ugly. You will be really surprised when people are in a property, commercial or residential, the status quo. They're just so used to that being like that. But buyers
Mm,
come through and go, don't like that. And I don't like that for this reason. Listen to them and act on it. And it costs money. So don't dismay and go, oh, look, it's always been like that. She'll be fine. So when we say product, get that product shiny. Think about it
yeah,
like a car. When you walk into a car yard, that secondhand car is beautiful. Those properties,
yeah.
commercial or residential, and a lot of people in commercial go, I don't want to do the work
Mm.
because the tenant coming in is going to do the paint. The tenant coming in is going to do the work.
Yeah. Now, unless everything what we've said
Furniture.
above, furniture, unless everything that we've just said above has been ticked off and you can say it's done well, when now we get to the third P, price, we don't even consider adjusting the price unless all these other levers have been ticked off. But if you can then say to your owner, we've hammered the product, it's presented, we renovated it, we styled it, it can't look any better. Comes to promotion, we've done everything. We've spent a small fortune investing in this campaign. We cannot do it any better. It comes down to the price. A lot of the feedback is, let's say, at 1.4 and we're at 1.6. No one's coming through. So, but if you say to your owner, we're not on realestate.com, we haven't cleaned the property, the tenant saying doesn't give us access only once a fortnight, it hasn't been very good, then you don't really have too much to
Yeah.
stand on when it comes to
Yeah.
price. And that's what your owner is there. That's what your owner is paying you for, to defend that price, protect the equity in their property, and not just rush to get the price down 200 grand, because that could be the difference of them retiring with money and not being able to retire having this asset their whole life.
Yeah, so look, guys, if you just tuned in, we're talking about agents that can't sell homes and why we're leading with the three P's: price, product, and promotion. That's the only reason something won't be sold. It's the three P's: price, product, promotion. So now we're talking about the last piece, which is price. And that price is we also call meeting the market. So
Mm,
it doesn't take a long time. You will know market value within 2 to 4 weeks, generally two. So you don't have to be on the market for 3 months or 6 months. The market, the hot people will come straight out. They won't wait in the wings for a year and then come and see it. They'll be there within the first week or two. They're very proactive, the hot buyers. So if you haven't got a result, the desired result after getting promotion right, after getting the product right, then it's time to review the price and meet the market with the price. So
mm.
that can be an adjustment of you got to listen to your agent who's talking to your market. So you're listening to your market and you got to adjust accordingly. Sometimes the bunny hops above that. They get excited. The buyers get excited. But if the buyers are saying it's 10% below what you're indicating, or 15% or 12%, move your price.
Yeah. Now, the f- are we'll go to the fourth P for commercial, or anything else you want to touch on that? Touch on the
No,
next
I
one.
think this is the secret P. So we
Yeah.
always say there's three P's, but in commercial there's another P.
Yeah, in commercial, there's the P for patience because, as Mark said
Mhm.
above, you can get all three of these P's right: promotion, product, and the price. It doesn't mean you can be sold or leased within a week. I was chatting to this first time commercial
Yeah,
investor, and he
yeah,
brought up vacancy on this storage unit. And I just said to him, it's very important to buy commercial well below your means because it doesn't matter if you're getting an $80 a week office or a $10,000 a week beachfront restaurant. All these properties can take 3 months, 6 months to lease. And it doesn't mean they're overpriced. It just means there's
yeah.
not always a business operator ready to take on that property at that time. And even if there is, it can take a couple of months to be ready. They're moving out of a property, they're organizing finances, they're organizing equipment. So, patience is a big one. And I've run this test study. I had a property which I knew that was being knocked down and to develop before, and the owner wasn't entering any long leases. And I had a shop on the market for I had the shop on the market for lease at $1,100 a week. I dropped the price to $99 or $199 to see, all right, well, obviously, if it was that residential model, especially in leasing, drop it $50, you'll get at least. I dropped it from $1,200 to $99 and didn't get a call, did not get an inquiry for nearly a month.
This
And
is
then
commercial. Yeah.
this is commercial. Then put the property price back up to the full asking price. Maybe a month later, 3 weeks later, had two inquiries in the same week, got it leased for even more money, only like $30 more, but still more, and got it leased. So patience is a big one in commercial. And I always advise clients, even if you can get funding for 500,000, buy for 250,000 with no or little mortgage, and have that patience to protect the value of your asset.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in summary, if a property can't sell or even rent, guys, you can apply the three
Yes,
P's to rent: price, product, or promotion. They're the three things you must understand that your agent must elaborate on and understand, and must be doing a good job in understanding those as well. So, and then and palette, plating that up for the market. So, price, product, promotion. That's it.
that's it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr. Burgio. Have a great day.
See you.
See you, man.